Hey, Trevor McAleese, your NDP candidate for Kelowna. Still on my way to an appointment with my financial advisor. I'll check in a second here. Let's just talk campaign fundraising in Canada here for a second, because it's kind of interesting. We used to have a federal per vote subsidy. When that was brought in 2004 by Sean Christian and the Liberals, $1.75 would be paid out to a party per vote received, based on the final count of a federal election. And this was argued at the time as a way to make party fundraising less prone to corruption, right? Moneyed interests not being depended on for federal parties to raise funds. They're democratizing the process, And especially with our broke-ass first-past-the-post electoral system, really, it gave an incentive to vote your conscience. Even if you weren't voting for the winner, your vote meant something, right? Now, guess which federal party staunchly opposed the per vote subsidy? When Stephen Harper and the Conservative Party of Canada came into power, well, they were successfully able to chip away at that amount piece by piece until eventually eliminating it entirely. And in fact, Pierre Poilievre, in a short-lived role as Minister of Democratic Reform, he was the spokesperson for that decision. Now, oddly enough, when Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party roared back to a majority in 2015, they could have, but they didn't. They could have brought the per vote subsidy back, but they didn't. Now, the BC NDP have done a lot to make the provincial per vote subsidy a permanent part of how campaign fundraising works in this province. And at the federal level, the federal NDP are also into the idea. Because, look, man, those giant parties, their donors have got deep, deep, deep pockets. And smaller parties really simply can't compete on the fundraising front if you're just relying on basically the wealthy to hand over their cash, And moreover, if you've ever signed up to a mailing list for one of the federal parties, you know that you get inundated with fundraising asks over and over and over again. Oh, it's the end of the quarter. Oh, the deadline's coming. Give. And now look, if you've got the cash and you believe in a party, it actually feels good to be able to support them, But for the love of God, these fundraising emails. So if you are as exasperated as I, vote NDP. Put these goddamn things to rest. Bring back the per vote subsidy.